Live once again. Once again, we are live. Right. Live once again. A lot of things I'm going to do to show that we are live. Edit live video. Edit live video. Live video. Okay, we are live on all major networks. Share the link. Pick my nose. Pick my nose. Share the link. Pick my nose. It's quiet. It's quiet. Boom. We are live as we can be. Sharing the link to everyone that would like to watch live. All right, we're live. Live with another cleaning lady guest. The cleaning lady. Get our cues. Get our cues all set up. Get our cues that don't want to do that. All right. That's all queued up. We are live. We're live. We're live. Are we live? Are we live? We are live. We are live. Waiting for our guest, Harold Nieves. Nevis? Nieves? I'm going to have him introduce himself. We're going to have Harold introduce himself. Nieves? Nieves? Nieves Fisch. Harold Nieves Fisch. Harold Nieves Fisch. Last time when I was playing background music, every time you hear the music in the background, it just didn't sound right. For some reason, the Restream app and the royalty-free music in the background doesn't sound well together. So I had to stop doing it. But we are live on 4 different platforms. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Always got to make sure my audio setting is right. That night that I had Ike from the Batman, for some reason my audio wasn't right. It's terrible. It's embarrassing. Harold Nieves Fisch. Fish is coming on. Played Carlos. Carlos. Still live. Let's go change the background. We use this for Ivan. Let's find a different color for Harold. Let's see. I use this for Josette. I want to use that for Josette. Should we give him blue polka dots? About this. About the sky. Yeah, that could work. The sky can work. Oh, they got a Ukraine one. Not getting political, so we're not going to use Ukraine. What is that? Is that Ukraine in the background also? I think that's Ukraine. No, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to go with a blue background. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go with a blue background. Got two of you guys watching me on Facebook. We got 9 minutes till we get our guest in. Kind of a crazy week so far. Trying to work out another guest coming on here, of course, from the cleaning lady. But if that doesn't work out, I got a guest coming in April for you guys who are watching right now. I got a guest coming in April, and she performed on a Fox TV show called I Can See Your Voice, hosted by Ken Jeong, Dr. Ken, who was in The Hangover. So that's the hint right now. She was on I Can See Your Voice, and that's coming up. I'm looking at my calendar. I think we said April. I just don't remember when in April. And no, not April Fools. No fools for April Fools. It's not April Fools. It's not April Fool joke. Just a matter of when. When. All right. Again, we're just waiting for the guest, Harold, to jump on. I told him 6 o'clock. Told him give him, take his time. No hurry. No hurry whatsoever. He can take his sweet time, jump on my show, can do all that. Again, I'm just sharing links to people. So there's people who are watching. There's again, we're live on YouTube. So if you guys want to watch me on YouTube, you guys can definitely watch me on YouTube. If you guys want to watch me on Facebook, from what I heard, you don't need a Facebook account. You can go ahead and watch me on Facebook. So that's a good thing, I guess. So if you guys are watching me on Facebook, definitely jump on Facebook. If you guys are watching me on Twitter, let me know you're watching me on Twitter. Right now we have YouTube is watching, so I got to keep everything formal. Can't have any music unless it's a copyright free music. Other than that, I can't have anything else on. I'm very dry throat today. Somebody asked the other day, where can they get these shirts? Where can I get this mug? This is not the mug that I sell on my spread shop, but this is the website right here. The Daily Vlogs podcast.myspreadshop.com. Go ahead and check it out. I got a lot of everything there. So I'll leave that right there. The Daily Vlogs podcast.myspreadshop.com. If you guys are looking for stuff to buy, let me know when you guys buy. I don't like that graphic. I don't like the news. Looks better. Maybe I just don't like the color. Yeah, that color looks better. That yellow didn't look right. All right. Again, we are live. My lighting is too bright. The whole daylight saving thing is really killing me. I don't want that light. Nope. Yeah, we'll keep it there. We'll keep the ugly hidden. How's that? We'll keep the ugly hidden. Oh, my throat is very, very dry today. What did I do? But yes, we are waiting for another guest from the Fox TV hit show, The Cleaning Lady. And if you guys stay up and you're up to date with The Cleaning Lady, unfortunately, he's not going to be in season 2. Unfortunately, he's not going to be in season 2. But I had the honor. To interview Martha Milan. Miranda Kwok, the executive producer, was on this show right here. Ivan Shaw just last week. Josette Canalao, Cosima Cabrera, who I always call Gabby. Every time I'm talking about her, I call her Gabby because her character was Gabby. So I had a chance to interview them, and to me, that was a cool, positive thing, having someone like them on my show right here. And this is a bedroom podcast. This is a bedroom kind of thing, and for me to reach out to them and to ask them to be on the show was kind of like, wow. For them to say yes, we'll be on your show was kind of like, wow. To me, it was a surreal feeling. What else can I say? It was a surreal feeling. I think I gotta hashtag this right here. Hashtagging it because for some reason, when I'm showing this on, okay, they're changing it up. When I'm showing this on my Twitter page, it's coming up, but if I hashtag The Cleaning Lady, I think it'll come up a lot. More people would want to watch it, or more people can actually watch it that way. So I went ahead and did that. I hashtagged it. So we will see if that actually works. Yeah, again, it's like for me to reach out to these actors, actresses, and for them to say, yes, I'll be more than happy to be on your show. And for them to actually be on, it's a great honor to me. It's one of those cool things that not every day can I sit here and interview someone, and not only just someone, but cast of The Cleaning Lady, and have them on my show was kind of a cool thing to have. So to have them on my show was a cool honor to me. And then, today I'm having Harold Nieves Fisch on my show as well. And as soon as he gets on, we told him 6:00. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this right here. I'm going to record. I record in 2 different spots. I record the audio separate. The audio goes to my podcast. Someone asked me the other day, hey, why do you record 2 different audios? The one you're hearing now, you're hearing live, which is okay. But the one that I put on the podcast, my podcast channel, that one, the audio is a little bit better. Audio is a little more crisp. So that's why I record the audio separate. But let's go ahead and record here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do what we normally do on the daily vlogs and the daily podcast. All right, another episode of the daily podcast with me, Eric B. I got Mr. Harold Nieves Fisch coming in today from the Fox TV hit show, The Cleaning Lady. So as we always do, let's get this on the other side of the break. So let's get this started. Welcome, everyone. It's the Daily Podcast and the Daily Vlogs, and I'm your host, Eric B. We have another special guest coming on. I'm going to bring him in. I'll bring him in right now. We're not going to do the whole baseball countdown and wait up to the right hour. We're going to bring him in right now. Here he is, again, from the Fox TV hit show, The Cleaning Lady. Mr. Harold Nieves Fisch is on with us right now.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
Doing well. Am I saying your last name right? Is it Nieves Fish?
It's Nieves
Nieves.
Fish. Yeah.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
Nieves. I work in dermatology, and when we say Nieves, it's kind of like another word. So I'm like, wait, is it Neves or Nieves? All right.
No. It's a bit Spanish. Yeah, yeah.
Very Spanish. Very. I like it. I love it. Harold, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for jumping on the show. I'm probably going to warn you right now. There's probably a couple times where I'm going to accidentally call you Carlos, and I apologize for that.
That's okay. That's all right.
If I do
You and
that,
the entire crew, it's fine.
slap me on the wrist for that. But do me a favor, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the crowd know who you are and what you do.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Harold Nieves Fisch. I am an actor, director, and writer. I am currently out in Los Angeles, and beyond that, I do anything I can, and I take care of my lovely fiance and my two dogs, and I try to book more acting jobs. That's what I do.
There it is. Carlos from the cleaning lady. We great minds think alike. I like your background because it's kind of like what I have right now. It's just a different color background.
Yeah, right.
You know?
I
It's
figured
cool.
I might be matching today. Why not?
Yeah. We didn't plan this, guys. So if you guys are watching, this was not planned. It was one of those.
I research.
Ah,
I see what you do.
he see the cool videos. I should have flipped it around and do a different back. Harold, thank you again. Thank you for jumping on, man. It was kind of a one of those cool things. And it's kind of sad moment right now because the past
Mm.
couple podcasts and interviews I had a bunch of you guys lined up, and as of now, you're the last one on the show that I
Okay.
have. So it's kind of like that whole what am I gonna do next week? I do have a couple of
Sure.
people that I'm talking to that I'm still trying to try to get on the show, but we gotta confirm and commit. And I don't usually say who I'm having on until I know for sure they're coming on the show. But thank you for jumping on. And let's start off with the questions. What got you into acting?
Yeah, sure. What got me into acting? I grew up in a really small town in South Texas. I grew up in a town called Harlingen outside of Brownsville on the border.
Okay.
I went to public schools, and uh, it was a kind of an impoverished town, and it's doing much better these days, honestly. But growing up, I didn't have a lot of options in terms of arts and things like that. I mean, everybody I knew either played football or soccer, and that was pretty much the only things that you can do. Um, I kind of lucked out though, and I found myself in this school with this theater teacher that was just really, really impassioned and a little crazy. And I just kind of followed her lead, and I got myself into this speech drama and debate program. I don't know if any of your listeners did speech drama and debate, um, but I got very big into that when I was in high school. I was very competitive. I did, the weekend competitions for theater and for Lincoln Douglas debate and student congress and things like that.
Wow.
So that was my first start, and really it just became kind of this chip on my shoulder growing up in South Texas to sort of to make it and to sort of get to a place where I can have the same opportunities as people I watch on TV.
Wow. Okay.
So I just kept pushing, man. I went into high school. I went to college. College, I got a degree in writing, but I pretty much blew off college so I can pursue acting.
Yeah.
I found a great teacher in the Austin area. I went to the University of Texas. I found a great teacher in the Austin area, and I studied acting very seriously for many, many years. And I just kind of became obsessed and a little competitive. It certainly is something I need to work on. But it's been a fun little life, and I was doing it out in Austin for many years. I started out professionally in 2011. I booked a TurboTax commercial. I think it was my first big job, and then I've just been kind of following it ever since.
Good. I mean, it's one of those things where you had a passion that you had the niche and you
Yeah.
followed it, you pursued it. What brought you over to LA from Texas?
Well, it's a bit of a complicated story. I was always trying to get my ass out to LA. I really was. The Austin scene was really fantastic for a long time, and it's still like a place I still go to work. I'm going back to Austin in like a month for another film project.
Nice.
Um, it's um, it's a very indie space out in Texas. It's still not quite as a piece of the industry like places like Atlanta and Albuquerque are now.
Yeah.
Um, so it was always a struggle. It was always kind of trying to claw your way in, trying to sneak in, trying to figure out ways in. So I loved my time in Austin, but you know, the jobs were starting to get kind of scarce. The opportunities were getting kind of hard, and then COVID hit. So I attempted to move to LA. My first time trying to move to LA was March 2020. I think it was like March 10th. I arrived at
Oh,
a little apartment I was renting in West Hollywood. And within like 4 or 5 days, the world was starting to crumble around me, and I had to readjust my plans. But yeah, March 2020 was my first arrival in LA. And then yeah, after that first 3 months after that point, I kind of lost a lot of the work I had in Texas. You know, things were starting to kind of crumble because of the pandemic. So I took my chance, man. I packed my bags, I sold a bunch of stuff, and got my two dogs, my fiance in the car. I begged, I pleaded, I bargained, and we all made a move to LA.
nice. Now, this was a couple questions I had in the past also for an actor, especially someone like you who wants to do everything that you just moved here and you moved right in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
2020 was the worst year for everyone, not just actors, but for everyone in general. How did that play in your personal head? Like, I need to move to LA, but everything is shut down. Productions was pretty much shut down. We couldn't even go to the movie theaters. How did that
Yeah.
motivate you? Or, what did you find? How did you find a way to motivate yourself to say, you know what, this is going to pass and I'm going to do this?
It's funny how this stuff works, right? Like initially it was terrifying, right? I mean, everyone's life got affected. Um, but it kind of quickly, I quickly realized that, you know, a harsh downturn for some is an opportunity for others.
Yeah.
And working and living out in Texas, I was already very used to how the industry is now working, which is by, tape auditions and self tapes
Yep.
and, Zoom callbacks and things like that. I was already doing that, because I was out in the sticks essentially.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of figured that out pretty quick. I figured out, that in-person auditions are a thing of the past. I actually had my first in 2 years, like a week ago. It was weird. uh, but yeah, so I figured this out. I figured out that tape auditions were the future, and I just started doing it, and I started getting really comfortable with it. So I have, my tripod. I have this background here in my room. I started, doing tape auditions all the time, and it became if the new status quo for me was comfortable. It was something that I was okay with. Um, and like I said, a lot of the stuff that was keeping me in Texas, a lot of those jobs, um, you know, a lot like other actors, I had like three other jobs
Yeah, of
to
course.
keep myself going here.
Yeah.
Um, so once all those were gone, I had, nothing to lose. So I had more time, more energy.
Ooh, we lost your audio there. We lost the audio. Can you hear me? No, we lost his audio. There you go.
These things are busted. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. So,
I can hear you.
you can hear me now?
Yeah, and I can
All
hear
right.
you when you had them off. Well, yeah.
All right. We'll see if they stay here.
Yeah, so we were talking about so you're
Go ahead.
talking about the auditioning and all that and having to deal with the COVID. Um so I mean, a good thing came out of it. I mean, you
Absolutely
like
for
you
me,
said,
at least.
you're used to the Zoom, you're used to all that. And when you got the call to audition for the cleaning lady, a lot of that was pretty much Zoom also, right?
Hmm. Oh yeah.
How was that
Yeah,
for
that
you?
was actually back in 2020. November was my first audition for Cleaning Lady. Um, and actually, it wasn't for Carlos. It was for Tariq, um, or Naveed's character's son, the
Oh
one that gets
wow,
sent
okay.
to Armenia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I really liked the part. I was into doing it. But I didn't hear back from them for another maybe 6 months, I think. And then I had a series of other auditions for kind of small parts or parts I didn't really see as large. And then I got a role for a guy named Ernie, and that ended up being Carlos.
Okay.
And so my first audition was for Carlos was that scene with in the second episode we see all the Armenians and the guns,
Yeah.
and the great actor Ivo Nandi walks up. So his dialogue with Aiden Canto was the first few lines I auditioned for Carlos. So let's see, I went through probably three or four different characters before it became Carlos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carlos had seven. You were in 7 episodes. I mean, you know, I
Yeah.
think his son was. He was in 3 episodes, I believe. I think he was only in three. Was he in 3 episodes? I would say
I
two
think
or
so.
three. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So no, you came out better with the 7 episodes. I mean, unfortunately, I was telling everybody, it's like, unfortunately, we're not going to see you in season 2 unless there's a twist that we don't know about.
It's funny. I talk with some of the writers, and we're all still friends, and Miranda will get a hold of me on Instagram every once in a while, and they're always apologetic. We always joke about the zombie storyline that they're going to bring into season 2. But,
so this is interactive. Elise is one of she's a big fan of the cleaning lady, and this is the
sure.
friendly comment. She just says, "Until he got
Until
iced."
he got iced. I know.
Yeah, I was
That was fun.
that whole scene when he was like, where's Armand? I'm like, oh man, they better not kill this guy off, because you were his right hand man, but you were kind of one of the cool right hand mans, because we didn't see you like beating anybody up. We didn't see you.
Right.
That was a good thing about the story writing. What I love about the story writing is, you know, we hated the good guy, but everybody liked the bad guys, and you were one of the guys
Yeah.
that when we were watching, I'm like, hey, this is a cool guy. This is the kind of guy that I'd probably want to hang out with, after work. But you just don't want to piss him off because he's also the right hand man of the
Yeah.
mob, the big mob guy.
Yeah, that's something we had talked a lot about what space does Carlos take, and what kind of guy that he is. And I think for everybody on the scene on the set, it was something that we were all sort of um, trying to find our angle on. We all kind of agreed that there was no good guys, no bad guys. We're all gray.
Yeah.
We're all people.
No, it
And
was good. I liked it.
yeah, and so Carlos, my portrayal of Carlos, I think came in sort of hand in hand with Ivo Nandi, Matteo, the original right hand man.
Yeah.
And so I think what we were trying to go for, and what I was trying to focus on, was trying to portray that a new right hand man, and sort of the stress and the sort of sifting sands that he would be on. I think Carlos was a character that felt very unsure about where he was and about what was needed of him. He was very unsure of Tony, and that was something that we had actually talked about. And I'm a little disappointed I didn't get to see more of in the final cut of the relationship between Carlos and Tony. My first few scenes on the set were bring Elodie into the room,
Yeah.
shove her really hard, be mean to her. And then by like the last few episodes, we had a much more of a sort of co-worker kind of vibe between each other, and that was something that I was really trying to hone in on.
Nice. We got another comment from Elise. Again, she's a big fan. I always wondered if Armand replaced Carlos's car after Carl blew it up with the rocket launcher.
He did promise that. I don't know if he ever got to it. I mean, maybe when he got back from Mexico, it was on his list of things to do. But
That look on your face when he blew it up, you're like, dude, that's my car.
Yeah. I'll tell you a quick set story about that. That day was such a wild day on set. We were out on this gun range out in the western end of Albuquerque, and it was kind of getting late in the year. I think it was like late October by then, and the weather was up, the wind was high, we were kind of freezing, and we were like 20 minutes away from end of day. Like
Yeah.
we were all about to get overtime, and we still had to blow up that damn car. So It really was like a countdown. It was like, all right, 7 o'clock. We got to blow up the car. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. One take. That's it. And we got the car explosion. We got the scene, and we had to clean up and go.
Man, I hope
And
that car was from a junkyard because that was a nice car to blow up. I mean, I hope that was
no,
like
I don't think so. I think that was actually somebody's car that they
a
had they had volunteered.
volunteered. Oh, we need someone's car on the set, please. Let's go bring someone's car on the set. Oh, by the way, we're gonna blow.
Yeah, yeah. It's there was some great guys that were there and supporting the set, supporting the show. Guys that were bringing in the cars, bringing in guns, bringing in
Yeah,
all sorts of design things. Those guys did a lot of work. A lot of little details like that are people's whole career.
nice.
Um, yeah,
You got to work with great actor Lou Diamond Phillips. How was that for you
yeah,
when you first met him and you first got? I mean, you got to really interact with him. How was that?
yeah. Lou Diamond Phillips was great. Yeah, I really didn't realize how kind of important that was going to be for me.
Yeah,
He really kind of struck me. Like I'm in the business. I'm not really kind of taken by fame or celebrity and that sort of thing. But
yeah, yeah,
but Lou Diamond Phillips was on that short list of people that I was really kind of excited to meet. He's from South Texas. He's got this long career.
yeah.
He's played a lot of characters that I would love to play myself. And when I met him on set, I mean, he was just instantly like the nicest man I had met in so long. Like he immediately grabbed my arm and gave me a big hug and was like, "Can't wait to work with you, bro. Can't wait to work with you." And he was so enthusiastic and so present. And then yeah, like we spent so much time. It was just another one of those days. You saw that scene. I guess the 3 or 4 when he's tied up there.
Yeah.
Boy, we spent long day like that. I'm just kind of stuck in the chair, tied up, and
Just talking, right?
so just talking, yeah,
Yeah.
just talking about his kid, talking about books he's reading, talking about cartoons he was thinking about, some movies he was thinking about developing, all that stuff, and like just
Wow.
shooting the shit. Yeah, he told me about his life back in South Texas, and we talked about like what's it like for you to go back home, and what's it like for me to go back home, and that kind of stuff. And yeah, he really was just the sweetest guy, and yeah, I mean, just that, just that work of kind of, I'm a young actor, I'm new in this world, all that stuff. I mean, but like just all that work he did of just kind of coming down to my level and bringing me up with him was so generous.
How
Um,
important is that to
yeah,
you? How important is it to have someone like Lou Diamond Phillips speak to you as an equal? Because you always hear horror stories of actors who looks down on other actors, and they
mm,
say you're not at my level, so I'm not going to speak to you. But he actually spoke to you, not at you, and he spoke with you, which we
yeah,
always hear in the business that's always important to you guys, especially a young actor like you. How important was that to you?
it's huge, man. It's absolutely huge. And I think it is tough because it's a business. It's a corporate environment. It's like any other office where there's a hierarchy and that kind of thing. So there is this sort of you know tiptoeing that you have to do sometimes, and the way I think about it is that it's a service job, that I am there to be in service of the creators, of the writers and directors. If I get anything else out of that, if I get a moment to create camaraderie, to find peers, to find people to collaborate with and be creative with, then it's huge. It's a
Yeah.
luxury then. Otherwise it can be a slog. It can be just a job where you're working with other people working a job and you're not making a lot
Yeah.
of connections. And I think the audience can feel that sometimes. The audience is very smart, in my opinion. Um, and I think people know that when they see people working and they're enjoying themselves and they're connecting. The audience also feels that too.
And this is something I brought up in the past interviews with the other characters on the show is, I follow you guys all on social media and I see what you guys do offset and just how fun you guys all the fun you guys are having in between takes or Miranda, big shout out to Miranda for I know
Yeah.
she's one of the leaders out there who's just like, hey, we're going to go here, we're going to have a blast and we're going to do this. And when my very first guest was Martha, and the show was young then. I think it was only like season episode 2 that I watched when she
Yeah,
got
yeah,
on.
yeah.
I didn't know where the
Martha's so
director.
great, right?
Oh yeah, Martha's one of those characters where it's like, and I told her that I can have her over the house, and I'll forget
Hmm.
she's Fiona because she's such a regular person, right? So
For sure. No, and she was so infectious on set. Like,
yeah,
I didn't personally have scenes with her. I was there for it, but like, yeah, you could just tell. Like, everyone was just always in just the best of mood, and always
and even
telling jokes, doing that sort of thing.
even her character, you can
Hmm.
tell from her character that she's this person. She's a character, but you can tell this is probably how she also is outside of her character. It was cool to see, and I
Yeah.
just love the way you guys, all of you guys, from your character to Armand's character, just the way you guys clicked. And again, like you said, we can tell that you guys were having fun together. We can tell that you guys were enjoying your time together. It wasn't one of these TV series where like, I wonder if they really like each other in real life. We can tell you guys did. So
Yeah,
that was a
yeah,
cool thing.
Yeah, with Aiden and all the guys, all the henchmen, all the guys like
Yeah.
that. We were all really aware of that and conscious. And the other hard thing about it was that it was pandemic, so we had these rare opportunities to kind of spend time with each other and feel kind of liberated with that. So we were always trying to push and try to find ways to create more connection, figure out ways like, how are our characters together? Like, what is our history? What are we doing together? What do we like? And just trying to find little things like that, like trying to find like a little bit of a physical language that we can share with each other and things like that.
No, it was good. It was very entertaining to us, and we felt each and every character. And me personally, when I watched it, I was just like picking each and every one, every character, and I'm like, God, you guys are putting your heart and soul into these characters, and it was good. And I want to say I want to see you in season 2, but, again, maybe in a
I got a
fun.
twin brother out there. You never know.
Hey, you never know. Carlos has a twin brother named Carlo, right?
Carlo, exactly. Yeah, he works
Carlo.
for the FBI. His little mustache,
There you
right?
go. Hey, they can make it work. It's a
All right,
TV. Um,
Miranda, help, get on it, please.
Miranda, get on there. What's one character, if you had to pick a character, any genre, any
Hmm.
movie, what character or what movie would you say, hey, I want to do this role? It could be either play or a
Oh,
movie.
easy. I want to be on Star Trek, bro. I'm here for
Oh,
sci-fi, really.
nice.
I've yeah, I've been, you know, still in the pandemic. We finished all of Star Trek Next Generation, all of Deep Space Nine. We're hesitant to get onto Paramount Plus, but we're gonna do it. Alex Kurtzman, let's do it. But yeah, I grew up watching, those big '90s sitcoms and
Yeah.
TV shows like that. Um, so I love the characters that are in Star Trek, the commanders, and Captain Jean-Luc Picard is
Yeah.
this sort of hero character that I see as this sort of archetype that I would just love to play one day.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, like I think right now too is one of those moments where you know true escapism, stories that are really out there and
Yeah.
wild and creative are is really attractive to me, and that's something I'm looking forward to in my own career.
CBS is showing Star Trek right now, right? CBS has.
Oh yeah, they got lots of Star Trek right now. They
There
got
you go.
like 3 or 4 different series. Yeah,
There you go. We can have Carlos. Yeah, I was going to call you Carlos.
yeah.
We can have Harold on Star Trek. I
You can
would
have
love to see
Carlos on Star Trek too. You can
that.
beam him right up there. Why not?
Star Trek or Star Wars? Are you more of a Star Trek fan?
Hmm.
More of a Trekkie
You
than
know, I that's a good question. I gotta say I'm much more of a Trekkie in my
okay.
own personal life. I love Star Wars. I do. I get it. I love it. I big respect. Seen it all. Done it all. Been
Yeah.
to Disney. But for me, I think, um, yeah. I mean, like it's just a sweet spot. Is what I grew up with.
Yeah.
It's the cherished memories of sitting on the couch with dad, and that kind of thing.
You just jinxed yourself because now I can hear Disney calling you and saying, "Harold, we need you to play on the Mandalorian season, 3 coming up," and you're going to be like, "Oh man, okay."
That's that's how the business works. You put it out there. You want this thing, then you get something slightly adjacent to it and to the left. But
It's kind of like I think of it as kind of like football. It's kind of, or sports, right? You want to
yeah,
play for the team that you grew up watching, but you end up playing for a team that you end up hating, right? So
sure.
that's kind of like how Star Trek is and Star Wars is. You love Star Trek. You're like, I can't wait to be a Star Trek character, but they want me to play Luke's cousin's uncle in this new episode. So
I'll
um,
take it, man. I absolutely will take it. Please, Disney, don't worry. I won't say no to you. Please give me a
oh,
call.
God, if you say no, man, then you deserve to be in that ice box, right? You can't say no. You got to say yes.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah, watch my luck. My next I'll get that Star Wars job, and they're gonna put me in that in the Han Solo thing.
yeah, the solos. We got a message from Pat right over here. What was your most
Hey,
memorable
Pat.
moment when you shot the cleaning lady?
Hmm. My most memorable moment. Um, yeah, my time with Lou Diamond Phillips was a really great time. That was a really great week. Um, I think I think too one of my favorite ones was early on. I think it was at the beginning of episode 2 and 3. Episode 2 or 3. Armand is in the club, and they're having all these performers, and you see the drunk guy, and he tosses the knife at the guy spitting on the
Yeah,
thing. That was such a wild day on set for me. I was still pretty new to the show. I think that was maybe like my fourth or fifth day working, um, and it was one hell of a circus. I mean, it was packed. We had lots of extras. We had lots of moving parts. We had lots of crew running around. People were stressed, and it was just kind of like this very very frenetic, very very exciting day. Um, and yeah, that was the day I was like, man, we're really doing this thing. Oh my
this is
God,
really
look at this
happening.
thing.
Yeah,
I mean, that club too, man. I mean, I'm not sure if you could tell on the show that club they built was really full fledged. It was a studio set.
oh wow, okay.
Um, yeah, it was a studio set club. So, but every detail was correct. All the lights work. You touch a switch, it would turn on and off. I mean, like the whole thing. But yeah, you would just come back around, and then you would just see the chaos of the studio around it.
I thought it was a real interior shot of a building that you guys just used and said we're going to
Oh
use
no,
this
oh
interior
no.
shot. What? That was actually a studio. That's
Oh yeah, they built the whole thing.
wow. Wow, that was impressive right there. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you got me. You were like, whoa.
hmm Oh yeah, those guys were amazing. Yeah,
Did you ever watch La Bamba? That's
La
my
Bamba.
question.
Yes, yes. You know what? I did kind of lie to Lou Diamond Phillips, and I did say like, "Oh, I just watched it in preparation work with you." I saw it when I was a kid,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, yeah.
No, I
I
was
did
going to
I did
say
remember seeing it. Yeah.
because if I was you, I would have watched La Bamba and I would have been just drilling him in all these questions about La Bamba. And, you know,
I think from my conversation with him, I think he's okay with the fact that I didn't. I think he wants to talk about other things.
he's over. He's over it. Huh?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I got was that he was working on other things. He was a
Nice.
dad, he was a writer. He had for him, I think La Bamba was his past.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think I don't know, maybe that was one of the reasons why he gleamed onto me was I was okay with being
You're
like,
not
okay,
talking about.
fuck about that, that's fine.
Lou Diamond Phillips is a producer agent. We're not talking about La Bamba. So scratch that email that I sent you guys about him talking about his character. So we're not going to talk about Richie Valens anymore. Um,
Oh, Richie Valens. I think Lou Diamond Phillips. I think he's got a portrait up on like a water tower somewhere in my hometown.
oh wow, wow, wow.
Yeah,
How was it working with Aiden Canton?
Aiden was such a great guy with me, man. He was. I mean, he was an inch. I mean, talk about a star. Like the way the guy carried himself, the way the guy did business was really an education.
Yeah,
Um, he really was a powerhouse, and like his mindset was very focused. Um, and he was really really empathetic about the character, and like just the way he approached it and what he was trying to get out of it. I thought I learned quite a lot from working with him. And he was a really great guy too. I mean, in our first few days, yeah, our first day was this was the scene where he's beating the crap out of the truck driver,
Yeah.
and then behind the 18-wheeler, he tossed the gun over his shoulder and he tosses it at me, which was uh, crazy. But at that time we had barely spoken. I mean, it was like a very very busy set. He walked right on. He went straight into shooting, and it was just kind of like a, hey, what's up? What's up? All right, hey, how you doing? Okay, and then we just went straight into shooting. And then kind of fell right into it. I was Carlos. He was Armand. We do the scene, toss the gun, all the things. And then like just after all that stuff, we kind of like settle down. I kind of turn and goes, hey man, I'm Carlos. I'm gonna be your guy. He goes, oh, you're Carlos. Oh god. Oh yeah. Right. And he kind of grabs on me. And yeah, so like we really did kind of start working from that moment of like trying to create space for each other, of like, how you feeling the scene? What's going on for you here? What are we doing? He was, yeah, and creating that workspace with him was really really phenomenal. He was a really sweet guy. Congratulations, Aiden. He just had a baby.
Yes. So that on
Yeah,
Instagram. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. When we were hanging out, man, he was quite excited.
Did he have
He's a
the
good
baby
dad, I gotta say.
during the show? Did the baby was the baby born?
No, no. I think she was just born just a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so he was kind of in this mindset. Like I think his wife was away where they lived, and he was working on set. So we didn't get to spend a lot of time off of set, and like he would kind of jump in his car and he would drive right off on the weekends to go to his family.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But yeah, I mean that with that too. I mean we would talk a lot about like family and what we were doing and how do you make it work.
Yeah.
How do you get that here? How do you fit that into this business? And yeah, like I said, I mean just an education on that sort of on how to do all that stuff with a bit of dignity and
Yeah.
grace. He's quite the pro at that.
You sound like you have a very supportive fiance for her to move all the way out to, LA.
Yeah,
How important is that
yeah.
in your career, in your acting career? How important is it to have somebody there that supports you with, all of this started for you as a dream and you're like, this is what I want to do. And you turn this dream into reality. And then here you are right now, one of, Fox's, to me, it's one of the Fox's biggest hit, how important is it to you that you have that support there?
It's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know one of the reasons why I like this work, why I like being an actor, is that it's something that's going to be with me my entire life. It's something that I can do until I'm decrepit and in a wheelchair. Even when I'm decrepit in a wheelchair, I can still do this job,
Yeah.
hopefully. And having somebody with me that can support me and be with me and stand me while I'm changing and adapting and becoming another character and bringing that character into my own life. It means the world to me. Yeah. And it's not easy. It certainly is not easy to keep a stable relationship, to have a strong family,
Yeah.
to do any of that stuff when you're in and out of jobs, when you're on set for 12, 15, 16 hours for a whole week. All that stuff feels very challenging.
Yeah.
So so yes, I am incredibly lucky. My fiance Amanda is really amazing. She was not my fiance when the show started. Um,
Yeah.
so we actually we got engaged just a couple of weeks after I got killed.
Congratulations on the
Thank
engagement.
you. I didn't really plan it. I mean, it wasn't like now that I got the show, we can finally get engaged. But it was kind of like, all right, I'm back home and we're getting settled, and I'm just so damn happy to see you and be back with our life and all that
Nice.
stuff. So, um, yeah, when I started, when I was even younger actor, when I was in Austin and really struggling and working multiple jobs, um, it was such a challenge. Yeah, it was very hard to keep a stable relationship, to be somebody that was worthy of a good fiance. So yeah, it's it's a Thank you, Pat.
Congratulations to you and Amanda. Nice, nice. But it is important though. It is important because one, you as an actor, you're stressed out over a role that you're auditioning for, and you want to get this role, but it's kind of like you can get 5 auditions, and out of the 5 auditions, you only get one callback. So you
Mhm.
need that person there to be that moral support and be like, don't worry, you'll get them next time, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's very important. I think it's important to have support, all around when it comes to certain things. When it comes to this, especially, I mean, you hear the stories of like Jared Leto, who's such the
Mhm.
method actor that he goes home and he brings his character home, and his wife is like, "Well, who the hell are you today?" Kind of thing. It's
Right.
it's difficult.
Yeah. It is one of those things. I mean, I think it's true for all sorts of careers, but I think in this one, not especially, but importantly, you need to create structure. You need to create stability for yourself.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you know that that up and down, those characters you bring into your life, they can do a lot of damage. And if you don't have, you know, somebody around you, some family, some community around you that knows you, that trusts you, it's easy to kind of get lost in your own shit.
yeah, yeah. Believe it. What's next for
Yeah.
you? What's moving? I'm sad that you're not going to be on season 2. I'll tell you that
Ah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the character, and I said this earlier, the character was such a lovable character that when that whole scene, and when Aiden's wife was like, "What's that?" and I'm like, "Oh man."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah." It's like we kind of put two and two together because before that you were getting beat up. They were like,
Hmm.
"Where's Armand?" And next thing you know, we see that on their kitchen floor. What's next for you?
Yeah. Yeah. I won't lie. I was a little disappointed that Carlos um, went out with the trash there. But yeah, I think it was something that we had talked a lot about on set about what the end of Carlos would look like, and I think it was something that the writers were kind of struggling with too. Like I think they liked the character. There was like a lot of opportunity for him to grow.
Yeah,
But I think too they were telling a story that was very harsh and violent and brutal, and they had to tell that story.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and now for me, I'm free to continue my work here. I'm back to Austin next month. I'm directing a film written by a theater writer from Texas. This great writer named Raul Garza. We'll be working on a small feature project together next month. Um, and then I'm auditioning all the time. I currently am waiting to hear back about a feature film project, lead role for a film that I might be shooting in Mexico, and
Nice.
yeah, and then right now I'm in LA, and I'm just trying to take what I've experienced and what I've received from the cleaning lady and bring it into my career. So I'm currently in the midst of renovations, so I'm looking for new reps and new people to work with and the whole shebang.
Played Carlos really well. She's one of your
Thank you,
fans.
thank you, Pat. Appreciate that.
How you being a producer, a writer, and an actor, what's if you had to pick one, and that's what you're doing for the rest of your career, which one would you pick?
Yeah, for me it's acting, um, and I think you said it earlier. For me, it's a sport. It's a
Yeah,
competition. Um, I still see myself as a player, and I'm fit and ready and able, and I love the challenge of it.
yeah,
And I do have a chip on my shoulder from being a Hispanic from a
yeah,
poor part of the world. It's a challenge. It's a huge challenge to gain the right to be seen, to be on the same level as the people that I want to work with. And it's a challenge that I'm really enthusiastic to keep facing.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so as long as I have that, I want to keep doing it.
yeah. That's good.
Um,
With
that being said, I find writing to be the one that I find really challenging. That's the one that keeps me up at night and that pulls my hair out and stuff like that.
don't pull the
Acting I
hair
could do all day.
Don't pull the hair out.
Right.
Everybody loves Harold and the hair. Don't pull the hair out.
Oh, sure, 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 sure.
But with everything going on right now, with all the streaming platforms that within the past 2 years just got popular, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, there's a lot of opportunities for Harold to go out there and find a role. I mean, it's like I know, if they say, hey, we want you to audition for this role, whether it's on Peacock, whether it's on, and you get the role, well, you're gonna take it,
Oh yeah,
regardless of where it
yeah,
is,
yeah, yeah.
because you just said you're hungry, you want it, and you're gonna take that role. And the opportunities are here now for you young actors, because there's multiple places that we can watch your show. And that's,
Yeah,
I think, to me, the opportunity is endless for up and coming actors now, just because there's so much more opportunities. Not like
yeah,
in 10 years ago, if you weren't on the big screen, you were on TV, and there was only so much you can watch on TV. But now, with everything being out there, there's multiple platforms that we can watch you on.
absolutely. Yeah, and that's exactly the the environment that I come up with. I came up with in Austin. It's the entrepreneurial, independent way of doing it, and I see that now in the streaming services and all
Yeah.
throughout the industry. It really is getting to this place where the amount of content out there is extraordinary. The amount of different projects, styles of projects that are happening are really dynamic and awesome.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, like I said, with COVID, the pandemic, so much has changed. The way that people did business has completely changed, but the opportunities are starting to really kind of appear. And
They're there. Yeah.
I can't complain because here in my room, I do get these great auditions for all sorts of different projects from all different corners of the country, of the world. People like I said, my Raul, the writer I'm working with, we've been able to work together very, very consistently over Zoom for several months now, and pull off a pretty complicated project,
Wow.
um, with the tools and the environment that we're in. So yeah, man, I feel like the sky's the limit right now. Um,
If
it's
Disney is
spooky, it's
watching,
scary, it's exciting. Yeah.
Disney, we need to get a Hispanic Jedi. I don't think there's ever been a Hispanic Jedi. I can't think of one right now.
mm,
Right?
don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. I
Don't
think
know.
Disney, you need to get your first Hispanic Jedi on
Ooh,
Disney Plus.
I do have a little back. Well, I'll just say to my good friend out there, break a leg out there. I
Ah,
do know a future Jedi. So
ah, can't tell us. You can't.
I
Or
can't tell you. I
is it
cannot tell you.
is
But
it one of those
but
things we'll see on Disney Plus in the next month or so, maybe?
there is a good chance that you will be seeing a brown skinned Jedi in the
Oh,
next 3 to 6 months. Yeah.
oh, well, God, you got me. Be
I know.
texting
I
me.
won't. I won't say. I have not signed any NDAs, but that's the best I can do right now.
Harold, I'm gonna apologize now because I'm gonna be texting you for
Sure.
the next 15 hours. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? No, but I would definitely love to see you on. You pinpointed where you said you want to be on some kind of sci-fi, and with everything else going on right now, whether it's a Star Trek on Paramount Plus, whether it's a character on Disney Plus. I definitely would love to see you moving forward. Playing a role that you love doing, and if you
Thank
get
you,
that
Eric.
role, I'll be
Appreciate that.
like, I know him. I know him.
I will happily come back and talk to you and tell you all about it.
It's funny. I was going to mention, um, everyone that comes on the show is always welcome to come back, and I tell that to everyone. If you want to share a story, you want to plug a story, you want to plug, anything, you guys are always more than welcome to come back on the show. Um, I wish you nothing but great success in your
I
future. I
appreciate
wish
that.
you,
Thank you, Eric. You too.
you coming on board, spending the time, with me, and saying, hey, let's go ahead and talk about the show. And I thought, honestly, I'm like, okay, how much of Carlos can we talk about, in the 45 minutes that I said we'll be on? But you knocked it out of the ballpark. You told us things that, the whole car scene right there was just like, you guys blew up a
Sure.
real car. You guys blew up a real.
They love those explosions, man. Yeah, they were all about it.
Were you always see people like you'll see blooper films where they do a live explosion, you see people flinch. Were you guys ready for that explosion?
Yeah, yeah. They told us that it's like don't flinch. Don't. It's gonna come. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be loud. Don't flinch. And it's like yeah, yeah, no, yeah. No problem. No problem. Don't flinch. Don't flinch.
Elise commented earlier today. At least we addressed this earlier. He said couldn't help but notice, but like how you guys coordinate the similar background. Yeah, yeah.
I
Harold did his homework. He watched a couple
did
of
my
the past
homework. I
episodes.
watched. Yeah.
He's like, I think I know what this guy does. But thank you for jumping
I'm in
on.
spring cleaning. I don't want you to see what's back here. It's
Oh
not...
yeah, this is exactly why this is back here, because you don't want to see what's back here. Come on, Filipino household. I got the Filipino Last Supper in the background. So, but yeah, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for everything
Thank
you're
you so much
doing.
for having me. Yeah.
And then Patrice again says you are talented yet humble. Can't wait to see more of you. We can't wait to see more
Thank
of
you so
you.
much. Yeah,
Whenever whenever you have a new project on, definitely please don't hesitate to ask and say, "Hey, I want to plug this show. I want to plug this character." You're more than welcome. You're part of this family now. So sorry to say you're stuck with me. Amanda, I'm sorry, he's stuck with me too. So, but good
No
luck
problem.
moving
I'll
forward.
take it.
Good luck in the
Thank you so
future.
much.
Good luck in everything you do. And, can't wait to see, Harold Nieves Fisch on whatever show he's going to jump on. Can't wait to see you on Star Trek or Disney Plus. Disney Plus. Come on, let's get him on.
Let's do both. Come on. Let's do both.
Star Trek. Man, I got to switch over now. I switched over to the whole Star Wars universe. Now I got to switch over to Star Trek again.
Oh man, it's what I fall asleep to, man. I put on like season 4 of Next Generation, and I'm like asleep within 10 minutes listening to the sounds of the spaceship and stuff.
Before we jump off, that's where I fell off. Next Generation to me was the best, and then they came out with all these Deep Space Nine, and I don't even know what else came on after that. But I was just like, okay, what else?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a little generational. For me, Deep Space Nine is a real sweet spot. I mean, Captain Sisko is such a character.
Yeah,
such an amazing man. Loved Voyager, of course, was amazing.
Yeah, Voyager was good. I like Voyager.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up a little bit. I'm starting to watch Discovery, and I get why fans are a little upset about it, but I really like it actually. It's kind of fun. It's very exciting, and I mean the actors are killing it. So
yeah. I mean, Voyager had the best. To me, has the best soundtrack opening theme, because I think it was Rod Stewart who sang the original Voyager song. But yeah, to me that was good. See, I know my Star Trek, so I'm a closet.
That's a different podcast.
Closet Trekkie. If you ever want to jump on and talk about Star Trek, please, we'll be more than happy to have you on. But Harold,
that's one last piece of trivia for you.
Yes.
One of I should have looked this up. One of our directors, our guest director for I think it was episode 7. He was an original producer of Star Trek Voyager. So I did get to have a chance to accost him with my Star Trek knowledge a little bit.
Nice. Was he interacting with you? Was he like, come on, man, let's stop talking about it?
He did kind of have that attitude where he's sort of like, oh yeah, back in the day, yeah, we're doing a lot of Star Trek. Yeah, it was kind of a pain in the ass, but I was all excited about it. But he didn't really have too many fun stories.
It's kind of hard to find that one person that wants to talk about the same thing you have a passion for. So if you see Star Trek, you're like, oh yeah, I'm a Luke Skywalker fan. Sorry, man. It's hard. Yeah. All right. Again, thank you so much for jumping on. We got a couple of last comments. Elise says, fun interview. Thank you. Patrice says, good luck. And then Elise again says, love the Voyager musical theme. That's one of the shows. Yes. I'm a big, I'm going to go download the Voyager theme right now, right after this.
Perfect.
But Harold, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for coming on again. You're welcome here more anytime you want, and good luck in the future, and good luck with everything. And we can't wait to see you back on TV, movie, the big screen, and good luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you so much, Eric. It's been a blast.
All right. Harold Nieves Fisch, everyone. Let's give him another round of applause for jumping on. And if you guys want to follow, you guys can have fun with this. Go check out this website right here.
That's right. Hey, yeah, I do have a website. There you go. There it is.
A website, and he has different hairdos in there, and it's kind of like you guys pick which one you guys like. I kind of like the long hair. I kind of like the long hair.
Yeah.
But Harold, thank you.
Stays until it falls out.
Keep it, please. Keep it. I'm gonna copy you. So the next podcast we do together, you can see my hair is probably longer than yours. So we'll see what happens.
Perfect.
All right, man. Thank you for jumping on.
Thank you, sir. Talk to you soon. Talk to you again.
All right, that was Harold Nieves Fisch with you guys. I want to thank you guys for jumping on. Thank you guys for always being interactive. That helps me out a lot. Helps me out with all the questions, with everything that's going on. But you can catch this again if you guys want to catch any of the shows. It's available on all the podcast platforms. So as soon as I upload and get everything on there, you'll hear it on Apple, you'll hear it on Google, you'll hear it on Spotify, you'll hear it on Amazon, you'll hear it there. And you could also again follow me on all my social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and you can follow me on YouTube, Eric B's Daily Vlogs. You can see that right here on my mic as well. But thank you guys for being interactive. Thank you guys for always jumping on, and thank you guys for being who you guys are. And I appreciate you guys. Harold, thank you for jumping on again. And until next time, I'm still working on another guest from the cleaning lady. Working on it. We're trying to figure out how we're going to do it. I'm not going to tell you who. I don't tell you guys who it is till I get a date locked in. But it's not Hayek and it's not Armand. So sorry, ladies. It's not those two. But we're working on it. We're figuring it out. And once we get that figured out, you guys will know. But until next time, thank you guys for watching. The live stream has ended. Thank you guys. Go in peace.